Hello! Today I am going to talk about eBucks, the rewards program of First National Bank, or FNB. Again, this video is probably only going to be applicable for South Africans, and if you are an FNB client, then you would most likely know about eBucks. And if you shop at Takealot and enjoy Pokemon cards, eBucks might be very useful for you. You can actually use eBucks at Takealot to buy your Pokemon products. I know it's quite common that sometimes these products are overpriced, but every now and then you see a product that is not badly priced. For example, this Paleo Evolved Elite Trainer box. This is actually not a bad price. It was lower than the one I paid for from another store. You would add it to carts, change the payment type, bam, pay with your eBucks. And if you are stuck at level 1 or 2 and want to get to level 5, then maybe keep on watching, because I will show you how you can go about going there. Just a quick disclaimer, this information provided is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered as any form of advice. It is recommended that you consult with a qualified professional before you make any financial decision. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, most people feel like that for these rewards programs, you have to spend a lot, like hundreds of thousands, in order to get, just a bit of rewards from these programs. However, that's actually not the case. Just imagine a scenario where you spend what you were, going to spend anyways on a typical month, but just altering a bit of your spending habits, a bit, and then being able to earn a decent amount of eBucks along the way. Wouldn't you want to do that? It's actually not that difficult. I was probably one of the people who was lazy and felt that eBucks was not worth it because I felt it was going to take too much time, and in the end I gave up. However, in the past few years, or maybe most recently, I decided to give it a try. It's actually not hard at all. I just had to adjust my spending habits a bit, do a few actions, and I was able to get to level 5 quite easily. And with eBucks, you're not only able to use it at Takealot, you can use it in all the different partners with eBucks. So there is lots of application for eBucks. Now, in order to start, you would go to the eBucks page, click on Earn, and you'll be showing these accounts. This video will take on the example of a Premier account holder. If you are other types of account holder, maybe a private client and above, or gold, then you just have to click on the applicable one and go through a similar step. Okay, so once you click on that, you'll see all the relevant information. Now you may feel, too long, didn't read. Don't worry, I'll try and summarize it in a simple way so that you'll be able to grasp the main concepts and then dig a bit deeper if you want to optimize your spending decisions. Now, to start off, I think we need to just clarify two pieces of information, especially for new users. There are something called eBucks points and eBucks. Now, eBucks points are points that you get from performing certain actions over the course of the month, and it helps you level up to a higher eBucks level. You can't really spend it, okay? On the other hand, eBucks is actually the amount that you can use to buy stuff. Hopefully that's clear enough. So if we look at the rewards level of a Premier account holder, these are the different levels. There are 5 levels in total, level 1 to 5. And these are the eBucks points ranges. So if the eBucks points that you scored within a month is between 0 and 3,999, you are in level 1. Whereas if you want to get to level 5, you need more than 11,000 eBucks points. And these are the different discounts, rewards percentage you can get based on these different levels. And that is why you can see a level 5's a level 5's rewards level is much higher than that of a level 1. Even double those of a level 2. Check this. At Checkers, if you're on level 5, you get 15% back in eBucks compared to a 7.5% if you are level 4. So hopefully that gives you enough incentive to move up the levels. So let's jump into it. How do you actually move up to level 5. We'll go through the rules. Actually, on the eBucks website, you'll find all these rules, and even on the app, you can go to track my rewards. It will show you the actual steps that you need to follow. So for the purposes of today's video, I'll be going through the rules that you can find on the eBucks website. And again, this is for the premium account. You need 11,000 points, which if you just spend maybe 10 minutes or maybe 10 to 15 minutes initially, you'll realize it's not too hard. And to perform these actions, for the start, you'll probably need 1 or 2 hours, okay? And then going forward, it's literally 10, 15 minutes, a much shorter time period every month just to maintain your level. So it's really not difficult. Let's look at the first one, okay? Have a minimum monthly deposit into your current FNB account of 19,500. Now, assuming you're a premier client and you have your salary deposited into your FNB account, this shouldn't be too difficult. If this is not the account that you deposit, that your salary is paid into, then you can actually work on the second criteria, which is initiate at least 10 debit transactions. Okay. Now, this is a definition of qualifying debit transactions. You can do debit card purchases, electronic and manual payments, which is probably the most common and less costly one. You can get prepaid purchases. Okay, so this is not difficult at all. Easy 2,000 points. Next, speaking about digital banking actions, make at least 6 financial transactions per month via the FNB app. So including the FNB Pay transactions, tap, scan, or checkout. It's really not difficult. Think about whenever you're trying to buy something, right? Use your FNB app and perform 6 financial transactions. It's actually much simpler than you think. Okay, view the Track My Rewards tab on the FNB app every month. Okay, this one is just totally free. Just every month, just click into that tab and you get 1,000 points. Easy. Pair these 2 bills using FNB Pay bills. Okay, if you have already other methods of paying your bills on a monthly basis, then yeah, maybe just don't force your behavior, don't change your behavior too much just to get your 1,000 points, especially if it's inconvenient. Okay, register a profile and use at least one of the following eBucks partners on the FNB app, including Udemy, eBucks Games, Extra Marks, etc. Okay, again, unless you are using these apps at the moment and you find them useful, then these are easy 1,000 points for you. If not, I didn't count them as part of I didn't count these points as part of this example, but if it's easy for you, then that's really great, because that's another easy 1,000 points for you. Make at least 3 real-time payments every month. Use the instant payment or PayShap option and the Pay tab on the FNB app. Okay, so don't use instant payment. That could be quite expensive. Try PayShap. Okay, maybe if you're making a payment to a family member or friend, a small amount, just above 100, you use it. PayShap is cheaper than instant payment, and it may actually work out. Just always remember to do 3. Then that's easy 1,000 points. I do that. Have 3 smart budget categories set up and access your smart budget every month. Or engage with my net worth monthly, or engage your credit status monthly. Again, these are really simple, just a few button clicks. You go to navigate life, and then I think you go to navigate money, and you set up 3 smart budget categories. It's really a few clicks, very easy. And there we go. And then you can, on that page, you can also click on my net worth and credit status. And there we go. 2 more of the above actions, easily 1,000 points. So just on this page, you can see that's easy 3,500 eBucks points. So that gives a total of 5,500. We're already halfway. Okay, simple. And then maintain a healthy credit status on NAV. So assuming you got, you're in a decent financial situation, you got some savings on hand, you're not behind on payments, not in arrears, just fulfilling these categories, then you most likely sit in a light green status. If you really well and have tons of savings, which I don't, and that is why I'm currently in light green and not in dark green. So I only get the 500 points. But if you're good at this, easily can get 1,000 points. Okay, so for this example, we'll just assume that you get 500. So that puts a total of 6,000 points. Next one, have an active FNB Fusion account with a credit limit and an active card. Or have a FNB credit card account with a credit limit and an active card. Okay, again, these actions shouldn't be too hard. It's really just applying, just phoning up FNB and saying you want to change to a Fusion account. So for me, I did this and I got 2,000 points easily. Again, if someone who doesn't believe in the use of a credit card, you don't want to have or use a credit card, then maybe don't count these points in this example. But for many people, most people use credit card. If you use it responsibly, then this shouldn't be a problem. But if you can't control your spending, rather don't get a credit card. Okay, and then this one, use your FNB virtual card for 80% of your qualifying online spend in a calendar month. That's really an easy step to create your virtual card. You can do that easily on your app. And I make sure that whenever I spend online, I use my FNB virtual card. And the next one, so that's easily 2,000 points. In the usual FNB credit card, use your virtual card for 80% of your qualifying in-store spend in the calendar month. Again, I make sure whenever I spend in-store that I make use of my virtual card. Tap and done. So just from this page, again, if this works for you, that's a huge condition. You must be comfortable with this and act responsibly. Then that's easily 5,000 eBucks points just from this. And there you go. Hit the target for level 5 already. Easily done. Okay. The following sections may be slightly challenging, especially if you don't use FNB as your main bank, because it might be a bit difficult now that you have to think about saving and investments. But if you use FNB as your main bank, then these are easy points that you can just get. Okay, let's go through them. Grow your FNB savings or investment account by at least 1,250 per month. Okay, so this is the threshold for a premium account. For a private client, it will be higher, and for gold, it will be slightly lower. Okay, interest, profits, and other returns are excluded. So that means that every month you must just put in 1,250 into your savings account. If you take it out during the month, then you forfeit the points. So you must just make sure that it's something that you can actually take into account into your budget and put away every month, because your account needs to grow by 1,250 in order to keep getting these 500 points. Now, if you use FNB as your main bank, you could also put it in some FNB investment trust. Obviously, for that, you need to speak to your financial advisor to see if it is appropriate for you. Then, if you have both of those, then it's 1,000 points. For this example, I just chose that getting this 500 points is not too bad, especially if you're at this level. Maintain a minimum monthly balance of at least 13,500 across your FNB savings accounts that are accessible within 7 days without incurring early withdrawal fees. So this is saying that the balance of your savings accounts, okay, if it's higher than 13,500, then you start getting some eBucks points already. And the higher the balance of your savings, the more points you get. You can see here 40,000. If your balance is more than 40,500, that's 1,500 points. Okay. So yeah, for this example, I did not count any points from this. So if you have savings that's above a certain amount, good for you. Easy points already. Have a savings account with a term longer than 8 days and maintain a minimum monthly balance of 13,500. So this is essentially talking about your fixed deposits. So again, if that works for you, you can get these points. Again, for this example, I did not count these in. Okay, next one. Tax-free savings accounts. Okay, you also get points if you have a tax-free unit trust or tax-free cash deposit and make a monthly contribution with FNB. So if your tax-free investment is with another bank and it's inconvenient to bring it to FNB, then don't be too worried, because you can make your points elsewhere on other criteria. But if you are thinking about starting a tax-free savings account, ensuring that you're still within the annual threshold, then you can get these points. Say for your goal, maintaining a minimum monthly balance of at least 100,000 in FNB investment account via the FNB investor platform. Again, this is if you have that amount to put into this. Otherwise, you don't need to be too worried about getting these points, because you're most likely going to be able to get other points from other activities. Don't be too worried. Also for this next one, don't worry. So for purpose of this example, I assumed that there's no points that's accounted for from any of these. Okay, borrow, have an FNB personal loan, student loan, or revolving facility product with FNB, and make your repayments via the monthly debit order from your FNB Fusion account, current account, or single facility. Okay, so again, I mentioned at the beginning, the purpose of leveling up in eBucks is just to change your behavior a bit. It's not telling you to go take out debt in order to force yourself to a higher level. If the cost of leveling up is higher than the benefit, then rather not go for this. You really have to think about what you can change easily and still get those points. If it requires you to take out debt, and then no, don't do it. Don't take out unnecessary debt. And this is if you have a home loan with FNB. For this example, I said 9, so getting no points from this. But if you have a FNB home loan with FNB, then you'll get these points if you fulfill these criteria. And also for clicking, you can actually click into, just by clicking a button in the nav home tab, you also get this easy 500. And this is for the insurance part. And this is, again, if you have insurance with other financial institutions already, then, and moving them to FNB is very inconvenient, then rather just skip these steps. It's not worth it to go through a lot of pain, especially if you have to pay a higher premium in order to get these points. You can see already that there's more than enough of other actions to get your necessary points. And this is if you have a global account. Right, this speaks to whether you have a spouse partner who has an aligned and active FNB account, add them as spouse, and then the My Family tab on the FNB app. And that's easily 1,000 points. Okay, that's if it's applicable for you. And this part, 1,000 points if it works for your situation. So you need to have FNB Life Simplified, Life Customized, or Dynamic Life home policy with a minimum combined cover of 2 million, and draft a will with FNB as your executor, and have your signed will with a signature date no longer than 5 years kept in FNB's custody. Now that's if this is applicable for you, then that's 1,000 points. If not, don't force yourself. And this is if you have a child, you want to add them to the family profile with an active linked FNB youth account, 500 points. And if you have a linked FNB youth account, savings account with balance that grows by 200 per month, 1,000 points. If this is applicable for you, then yeah, easy points. Okay, and then this is if you have an active FNB Islamic transaction account and one other active FNB Islamic account, 1,000 points. If you make use of FNB Connect and you have a monthly spend on your FNB Connect SIM card of more than 200 rands, the more you spend, the more points you get. But again, if you don't force it, just ignore this, you'll be able to get points from others. Okay, and that's the end. Now for this example, you can see that I excluded most of those other actions which may require a bit more effort. And if those actions are too inconvenient for you, no worries, just skip over them. Just see which actions are really easy for you to just adjust a bit, especially if it's just clicking a certain blocks, certain items on on the FB app, like the Track My Rewards, which is the easy 1,000 points. So just see which ones are really easy and just complete those, because you don't want to change your spending behavior too much or stress yourself out on forcing yourself to go to a higher level. And with that, you can see I was able to hit the level 5 target. And added to that, you have to know about the value added benefit. So if you have a virtual card and you do at least 5 payments with the virtual card, okay, so 5 taps per month, per week, then you can have a tall cappuccino with Starbucks. But remember, it expires within 2 weeks. So at any 1 week, you can only accumulate 2 of these vouchers. So make sure to use them every week, and latest use them within 2 weeks. Added to that, if you manage to hit level 5, you actually get a 120 rands Kawaii voucher that you can use at Kawaii for any purchases. If your purchase amount comes out to be higher than 120, then you just have to pay the difference in cash. Okay. So now going back, hopefully the above, I've explained how you can get to level 5, and it's not that difficult. Maybe your situation is different and you can only perform certain actions, which was described in the example. You will probably still hopefully be better than your current level. Say you managed to hit at least level 3 or 4, it would still be better than if you were in level 1 or 2, because you can see that the rewards percentage are much higher, even with a level 3 or 4. Just to go through these examples, you can see here for in-store shopping at eBucks partner, okay, if you use your credit card, you get 2% back in eBucks compared to level 1, which is 0.5%. So that's 4 times. Okay, online shopping at eBucks partners, again 2% compared to 0.5%. When we talk about fuel, engine only, you get 4 rands back if you're level 5, whereas on level 1 you only get 20 cents. That's 20 times difference. Okay, and this is a big one at Checkers. This is quite huge. You get level 5, you get 15% back. You get 15% back compared to at level 5 if you use your virtual card. Make sure you have to use a virtual card, because physical card you only get 0.25% irrespective of level. So don't use physical card when you shop at Checkers. Use your virtual card and you'll get 15% back in eBucks if you end up at level 5 compared to 1%. So that's 15x compared to level 1. Even compared to level 4, it's double. So you see that just that 1 level improvement, it's a double back in the eBucks cashback. eBucks percentage reward. And then if you have insurance with F&B Life, you also get a big chunk. If it's customized, you get a big chunk of it back in eBucks, 40%, compared to 1% on level 1. Well, that's 40 times difference there. And then another big one is clicks. Level 5, 15% back. Make sure you use your virtual card. 15% back in eBucks on your spend compared to 1% on the level 1. 15x. Also make sure that for these different accounts, there's a limit on your monthly spend where you will get this eBucks cashback. Okay, 15% back. So it's not unlimited spend. It's always capped at a certain amount. Okay, Netflix, if you pay with your virtual card or your credit card, 40% back. Spotify, also 40% back. Okay, iStore, if you pay with your virtual card, 15% compared to 1%. Oh, and GuardMe, 100% back compared to level 1, 0%. In addition to that, we have to talk a bit about smart spend. Now, in order to maximize your smart spend, you must make sure that 80% of your spend is done with your virtual card. Otherwise, you'll be stuck with at most 50 rands on a premium account if that's not the case. So if you use your virtual card and your monthly spend hits, say, 25,000, then you're able to actually get in 600 rands worth of eBucks, which is 6,000 eBucks. And that translates to a 2.4% back in eBucks on your spend. So that's just something additional. And yeah, I think that's about it. It's quite a long video. Hopefully that was clear that, hopefully I made it clear that the differentiation between what eBucks points are and eBucks itself, and the actions that you perform to obtain eBucks points are within a calendar month from the 1st to the end of the month, and the eBucks rewards is then paid out around 8th to the 14th of the subsequent month. Sometimes it may be later, especially during July when new rules are introduced. So if we're looking at January, for example, you perform actions between 1 January and 31st January 2024 to obtain the eBucks points. Your eBucks level is then determined based on your activities, and the eBucks rewards will then be paid out between 8th and 14th of February 2024. So hopefully to see you at level 5 soon. If you're not able to get to level 5, hopefully I hope that this was somewhat useful to you, that at least you're still able to improve your current level by 1 or 2 levels. Yeah, see you next time. Maybe I'll do another content on how you should spend your eBucks, the optimal way of spending eBucks.